Episode commencing in 3, 2, 1. Episode initiated.
From days of long ago, from uncharted regions of the Drift, comes a legend. The legend of Critron, defender of the cosmic universe. This is your GM Patrick here, in charge of this mighty robot podcast, loved by listeners, feared by other shows. As this pod's legend grew, peace settled across the Starfinder community. On planet Earth, a galaxy alliance was formed of 5 players and characters. This is the story of the super force of space explorers, specially trained and sent by the Alliance to bring back Critron, defender of the cosmic. To my far left, he's got blue right foot energy all over him. It's Jabert jabbering away his jam from.
What up, dorks?
Across the digital table from me. I hope that's your new catchphrase. Yep. Across the digital table from me, the left lion head doesn't know what the right is doing. It smiles, making believe is redacted.
Good evening.
To my right, he's got 2 left feet and is yellow bellied. Why, it's Tyler talking to Spray Deer.
I said hello there, nerds.
No, I don't like when you do it. To my immediate left, the raucous red right-hander reeling from a row, we have Drew dying to play Zilix Spell.
I called the rebellious bad boy character.
And across from him, the black glue that holds this whole podcast together. It's none other than Rebecca rolling with Asher and Sky.
The token girl.
you only have to have one by law in an 80s cartoon. But,
For this legendary defender, there's 2.
Thundercats had a couple ladies characters.
I love the recent Netflix version.
Get ready for Thundercats in a couple weeks, I think. I think this comes before. Yeah, talking about Voltron. The OG Voltron.
It's been a while since I've seen the OG one. Is it streaming anywhere?
With the 80s for me.
I don't know. I watched it in reruns on Cartoon Network a lot.
That and USA Network used to play it all the time when I was a kid. And I think when they first came out the DVD, they had these cool steel books, one for each lion. And I watched at least the first volume or season then. I mean, it still holds up. It's well animated. It's a cool show, but I love the Netflix show. And if you listen to Patrick and I on the Super Bracket Bros, I talked a lot about Voltron.
We talked a lot about Voltron. We talked a lot about Ultraman over those episodes. But yeah, guys, it's been a while since we played last. We had some holiday Halloween side quests there. Are you guys ready to get back into it and talk about what happened last time on Cosmic Crit?
Sure.
Oh boy.
We'll see.
Yeah, if I can remember.
Well,
I know that some people weren't doing so well and some people weren't here anymore, and I'm assuming my character is just
I'm pretty sure Tyler's character drowned at Camp Crystal Lake.
And then he came back.
It's the crossover that we all wanted.
Yeah, we had a multi-week, multi-part epilogue to book 1 that spanned many months, apparently. But yeah, this week it's time to get back into it. Last week's episode started with a medical frigate taking Jamfram and Praetor back to the Pact, but they were waylaid by the Drift Crisis. And inside the Drift, they came up across the derelict ship, the Third Eye, and were stranded for months. Back on New Galarion, the colony continued to expand, claiming 3 more hexes and building 3 additional resource nodes. Asher tried to raise spirits with a fall harvest festival and attracted the consumables vendor Padrig in his store potions, lotions, and sweet devotion, while Redacted sold candied treats. Back on Absalom, while Praetor was grilled by the corporation, Jamfram was awoken from his dreams of drowning and is cured of his radiation poisoning. What's wrong with the recap?
Oh, it wasn't radiation poisoning. It was the radiation disease.
There's another word for it, but yes, I'll accept it. Radiation sickness.
Pedantry is welcome.
Yeah, it is a disease, though. You are correct. Who would have thought that Jabert would have gotten that one?
Also, I wasn't stranded for 4 months. It was less than 4.
You were.
That's a pedantry joke. You said stranded 4 months, like 4 some months, but I said I was joking. It was 4 months.
Okay, according to my notes, we claimed 4 more hexes, not 3 more hexes.
That
Oh,
is
you
also,
claimed 4 hexes?
That is 4 hexes. That is also correct, Rebecca. Good.
Good.
Tyler,
Good
you got to take that mask off. I can't see any of your facial expression.
Oh, Tyler's
he's wearing the Jason Halloween or the
Friday the 13th.
I'm trying to get in the spirit.
I know you're in the spirit,
Oh
but
my
like
God.
your voice sounds like
No, this is great. I love it. Can Pradier come back wearing a mask?
Yeah, I love the audio quality that we're
absolutely.
getting out of this. It's so good. It's
No,
like
let him
not
talk.
at all.
Let him talk, everyone. Let him talk.
Let him cook.
This is so I don't have to do a Pradier voice. This is just what Pradier sounds like now.
This is what Darth Vader sounds like from the other side of the galaxy after a nap.
Oh gosh, I kind of like it. I don't know. I don't like the visual, but I like the audio.
Oh, I like the visual. It's
If you like
one of them replica masks. I used to have one.
I like it, but I also rely on Tyler's facial expressions to know if my joke is good or not. And so, like when he's wearing that, I'm just like, I'm dead in the water here.
Yeah, no, Tyler's very responsive.
Is this better? Does this work? See my eyes now.
Oh, that's good.
You're the
eyebrows are working perfect. Yeah.
Okay, you guys have gotten the reroll, the episode reroll, but does anybody else see anything wrong with this? Care to jump in just for gusto? No, no, it's fine. You've gotten 2 right. That's enough. That's enough.
I was too busy changing mask to.
I don't think the vendor's name was Padraig.
No, it was.
It wasn't. Oh,
Yeah, because it's like me, but he talks like this. I'm Patrick. His store was called Potions, Lotions, and Sweet Emotions, not Potion. So
my goodness.
I'm sure someone wrote that.
Sounds like.
I was gonna say that name was wrong, but I didn't have the correct name written down, so I didn't. Didn't.
And
try it.
the ship is called the Third Gate, not the Third Eye. That was the subject of the last 2 weeks of special episodes. This week's episode starts with a large portal opening from the drift high above the planet of Waydana 4, aka
Porthole?
What?
A porthole?
Portal.
Portal. Okay, I see.
Right. Well, we'll just start that whole thing over again. This week's episode starts with a large porthole opening from
A porthole, you say?
high above the planet of Waydana 4, aka New Galarion. We see hundreds of massive vessels with like a magical stasis field surrounding them as they exit this recently repaired but still very damaged drift. Drilling inside one of these vessels, there's a happy and healthy looking Jamfram once more. What's your character feeling, Jabert, after seeing what settlers are calling New Galarion again, seeing this planet down beneath your ship? It's only been a few months for you, but 6 months have fully passed since you slipped into a coma and sent you back to Absalom.
Indeed, when I return to New Galarion, I see this place for what it is, indeed a deeply dangerous place, a place that is easily underestimated, but I shall not underestimate it again. And close to my side is my good friend and commander, Pradier, who I walk closely behind.
Pradier, you've changed a great deal since dying, returning anew, having these adventures by yourself. What's Pradier thinking about once you're getting back to the planet here?
Oh boy, Pradier is, Pradier. It's almost kind of like when you haven't seen someone that you really care about for like a really long time, and there's almost that initial, butterflies or nervousness of just like, oh, how am I going to explain all this, and how am I going to apologize, and I have so many things to say and feelings, and
Hey,
Yeah,
you didn't cause the drift crisis.
And then you hug them and they smell weird, and it's like, ooh. Do I remember this person correctly? Is this the same person?
No. But, he maybe puts a arm on Jamfram's shoulder and feels better knowing that he has someone who's been with him through this. And
he was unconscious most.
And it's like the actual arm hand, not the black tentacle hand.
I love you either way.
Oh, never. Not the spooky one.
Yeah. You've had plenty of time because we did not get to see it, but you did have time to think about your transformation and return to Eox before you had to get back to New Galarian here. Maybe even had time to converse with some of the bone priests of Pharasma, the cloister of the promised dead. And perhaps they also helped you explore some of your new powers there, but ultimately did not have any insight on the why nor the how you have returned as an undead. So still mysteries abound in this AP, believe it or not.
Ridiculous.
Who would have thought? They're not all solved in book one.
Yeah, they should. Everything should be done in book one.
As your ship and about a dozen others land on the outskirts of Veridian Colony, you see dozens of new homes have sprouted up in the last 6 months, and some very large common buildings. There's a library, an entertainment plaza, and in the middle of them all, a monument to the fallen, perhaps carved from the stone deep beneath the earth here, the kind of mountainous rock bed. The whole crew is here to greet you as your ship disembarks. You see Ezrin Shire popping along here alongside Kel's Deirdrick, and of course your other 3 compatriots. We see Zilix Thill, Redacted, and of course Asher and Sky. You guys were reunited once more for the first time in over half a year. What are you saying to each other here on this jubilee of return? It's been a couple weeks in real life, been months for your characters. What do you see? What do you say? What do you do?
I think Asher would have a hard time containing herself and would run up to Pradier, go to hug him, and then realize he may not want her to do that. So
Pradier,
so now we're like an awkward personal distance away, where it's like, oh, we're closer than non-associates.
Yeah, but she would speak and say, Pradier, in your absence, I have done the best I could to keep things together and moving forward. I hope that it is to your standards. You've been sorely missed around here.
Oh, that is relieving to hear. I am being honest, I was very nervous about this reunion. And then he looks up and he sees the monument and he and maybe the few other buildings, and it says, it does seem like you have been very busy, and on top of the crisis that occurred and everything else, see this place flourishing is relieving. And I'm very happy to be back. And thank you for taking over so suddenly. I know that was asking far more than I should be allowed to ask of you.
With all that you've been through in the last 6 months, it was the least I could do.
Well, luckily I had Jamfram through most of it, almost all of it, actually. And
I mean,
although
not really, he was in stasis the majority of it.
Well, sure,
partly some of it.
Moral support. Physically there, though.
I was emotionally with you the whole time.
Well, yeah, right. I mean, Wilson did sort of help in the castaway scenario. So
you drew a face on my casket pod. I was with you the whole time.
Absolutely.
You opened up the pod every once in a while to store your groceries so they wouldn't go bad. Closed it up. It was a big help.
I'm feeling better now.
I brought Eoxian black milk souvenirs for everybody. Here you go. And
black milk sops. Some black milk sop candies. Yum.
Yeah. I unfortunately have still not really had been able to answer a lot of questions about what happened to me or why my abilities don't quite work the same. But I have grown a little bit, and I think I'm ready to return and be an asset to this community again.
Pradier, Ezrin pops forward and says, you don't have to worry about that today. Just rest up after your long trip here. And we'll worry about tomorrow. We got, maybe a few 100 hours worth of paperwork I need you to sign off on. Perhaps a full day after that of debriefings. But tonight you just relax. We'll show you around the colony expansion a little bit. It seems like you got a few hundred more settlers that you brought with you on this go around. So it's good that we've been busy expanding. The colony seems to be quite the hot commodity. Who knows that an interstellar crisis of travel would make people go a little stir crazy and want to get out of Absalom. But yeah, this is even before some of our most recent upgrades and enhancement here. Did you see we named the library after you? It's called Pradier's Reliquary.
He turns and looks and I had not noticed, but
yeah, because you're the only person we've ever seen read a book before. So we're like, who do we name this after?
I'm pretty sure I have seen other of our friends read books, but
nope, incorrect. That is
really there's no other books.
No. I mean, like maybe on their digital devices, but does that really count? I venture.
Oh,
no.
I see. This is a distinction between the physical and the electronic medium. Well, that is true. I do prefer what I can feel and touch.
He'll take you over there, and you can see that indeed the book that you left behind is on a special display in a glass case that reads Prime Executive Pradier's Private Tome.
Oh.
The librarian is Brignosian Willowwanth, who's handing over some research materials at the desk to Veach, who screeches his thanks and gives you a little claw high five as he walks out. It's fairly stately building. There's holographic learning chambers, AV tech corners,
Screech Veach.
Digital computers everywhere. There's also a collection of physical books. Most of them look new, like they were printed on the planet, but it is indeed a rarity. But indeed, there are some people reading physical books here in the library. Who would have thought?
Nice. Next time I will have to introduce you to this other thing I like to do, which is these it's a round disc with engraved music on it.
Oh, magical music discs. That sounds fun.
Oh, yeah, but he would, look through the library, and especially the obviously the physical sections, and he kind of just comes back and says, I'm very, very touched. This is, I think, more than I deserve, but that does not mean I am not very, very grateful.
Right. So you guys can rest up back in your home beds and wake up the next day, and that's it. That's all you get is one day of welcoming back, and then it's back to work. You got a whole colony to run. You've got edges of the border to explore, and you've got a ton of work to do. So Ezran Shire indeed starts up a council meeting in your dining room once more, maybe furnished by the folks in the community bringing food and coffee for you guys. This is once again the old bridge of the Burnished Dawn starship. And yeah, so over eggs, bacon, toast, and other breakfast stuff, Ezran will say, while you're signing these papers, I wanted to fill you in on, well, everything that we've come up with about this Marizov facility that you all, well, the place that you died. Remember that place right here?
Yes.
Yeah, that one. We contacted authorities in Rajadhan, and, well, we haven't heard anything back, but there were some old Infosphere reports that, at least the ones we have access to, that says that this Cursed Inc. or LLC or whatever it was, the venture that set up this facility here planetside, well, it went defunct about 100 years ago. Any assets on Marizal were probably auctioned off, so bit of a dead end there. There doesn't seem to be any records for this curse after the expedition to this planet, so couldn't really find anything about him, her, whoever it was, or this other scientist, undead lady that you fought. What was her name?
Oh.
Anyway, I couldn't find anything about her.
I can find the name eventually. Marnie?
Felivar. Yeah, that sounds right. But yeah, Redacted pulled all the computer files the Redacted could, and we're doing a lot of surveying of geological sites in the inner sea region. It seemed like they did find some things maybe buried deep underground, like beneath our feet almost. Who knows what it could be? Maybe an ancient Galarian civilization or some other buried tech. Anyway, they marked in their reports as the buried mission, but they didn't seem to be able to get access to it before their facility fell to radiation or whatever it was that killed everybody. But yeah, maybe you all can get out there, get ranging, see if you can find any, I don't know, natural caverns or ravines or something. Maybe something that would give us access to the underworld of this planet. Elenez Zorian has marked some hexes on the holomap I'm going to put them in your HUD, but if you want to explore those are some potential sites and see if you can find a way down. But that's just, there's a bunch of other stuff we need to do as well. I'll take us to the map so you can see some of these locations, which I don't remember if I have them exactly where they need to be by their description. Zorian's also set up 4 sets of surveillance equipment kind of on the edges of, what you've explored so far on the charter, just to keep an eye on things. Ezran points to the holographic map, and you see kind of the eastern and southern half of your charter where you've not explored completely that area. He says, initial data indicates that most of this terrain's pretty familiar. You got plains, there's some forests, wetlands, mountains, so on and so forth. But this area over here, taps on the holographic map, and it kind of jiggles a little bit. This seems to be a lot more seismically active, which is why these 2 spots seem to have stopped receiving information from his surveillance sites. So, I'd appreciate it, and Elenez appreciates it if you could figure out what happened there, maybe salvage what you can. And yeah, if you want to visit the other 2 sites that he's put up, he's not going to stop maybe checking in on them. But that's not the only, we have so many, a backlog of requests. There's maybe things you want to rate as higher priority. Veach is reported there's this massive stag bear herd on the plains to the east that he calls quote unquote quite fascinating, which is alarming to me. Anyway, they don't seem like they were affected by the radiation or mutated like the animals that attacked us. But Veach thinks that maybe perhaps it has something to do with their unique golden coloration. He's hoping you can collect maybe some biological samples from them at your earliest of conveniences, of course. Yeah,
but of course we can.
I gave you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 different locations to potentially explore here, because this is a whole new book. There's whole new places to go and explore.
I'm inclined to stay away from anything related to the cursed facility because I don't want to encounter radiation again.
Okay.
Traumatized for the rest of my lives. Hey, good news. Radiation doesn't really bother me anymore.
Wait, what was the seismic activity indicative of or inhibiting?
So that is the northeastern observation post, as well as, I believe, the southeastern observation post. They are C and H on the map. And I don't think I've labeled this southeastern one, but there's all kinds of sensors and surveillance equipment that were left at a camp there. Even video equipment, atmospheric, seismological, and they had apparently some seismological readings before they have stopped transmitting data back to Veridian Colony.
Oh, okay. So we set those up. They're just no longer reporting back the way that they are supposed to. Okay.
That's kind of what Elenez has been working on, is the corners of the colony that you've not really explored. He's been pushing the boundaries and setting up for you guys to go take a look.
Well, it seems a little suspicious that both of those posts stopped reporting back activity at the same time.
I mean, they were probably a month apart or so. 6 months have passed. He's just come back in from ranging for the better part of a month and realized that only 2 of the 4 places that they set up are still transmitting. So a lot of work went into that and not a lot of payoff.
Okay.
I feel like either one of those or the stag bears are probably what we should focus on first.
The interesting stag bears? You want to go look at wildlife?
I mean, you don't?
This isn't a zoo.
It could be.
Or is it?
Could be.
Is that the next facility we should build? Stag bear zoo?
Stag bear zoo with a Lynxacute rotating exhibit.
Oh,
Well, I for one am concerned about our posts that were set up not transmitting any data back, because that seems like, surely that data is useful if we set up those posts. I would think. I don't know.
No, you're probably right about that. I would be okay doing that. I don't necessarily want to go diving into a spooky, scary location quite yet. Don't want to trigger any Praydeer TSD.
Maybe you look over at Praydeer and he seems lost in thought. His brows furrowed, almost like he has a headache.
Praydeer, are you all right?
And kind of snaps out of it at the mention of your name. Oh, I'm sorry. We're talking about where we should go next. I agree with Asher and Sky. I think the more information we have, the better. And the observation post is probably what we need the most now. So my personal vote would be to head there.
Which one?
The northernmost one.
That one is very close to the Marizov facility.
Well, the good news is through some education at EOX, it seems this body is now much better suited to the task of radiation buffering. So shouldn't be a problem, yes, if it is up there at all.
Is that something that you have now?
Oh, as a quote-unquote undead, I have bonuses to just about everything. Everything. It's a very, very, very long list of saving throw bonuses I receive.
Good for you.
I'm not immune to radiation. You can still get me. I just am better suited for it. Besides I actually have a con bonus now, as opposed to my full elven body, which had a con negative.
Yeah. Do you remember when the con of 8 character ran into the radiation soaked room? Who could have seen that death coming?
No. I went from a con of 8 to a con of 12. Kind of buck wild. Yeah. My HP almost doubled. It's fantastic.
Praydeer the tank, right? That's who you're playing.
Yeah. I'm running in undead and everything.
Okay. All right. As you guys, so long as you're all okay heading out that way, if you finish up breakfast and get some paperwork done in the afternoon here, you can suit up and get back to Redacted's vehicle. Redacted, Miles, you've not changed up the classic vehicle yet, right? We're still in
not yet
explore buggy mode.
Yeah, I haven't really been able to afford something new, but nothing's changed quite yet. No,
okay, but still 5 seats ready to roll out with these folks. As you get out of your domicile and stretch your legs, maybe head on over to Redacted's vehicle, you hear sounds like some vague far off shouting from the distance, the different distant side of the colony, maybe towards the scrapyard. And you watch as Deidre Kells kind of walks from that direction, and it's kind of shaking her head and is like, boy, apparently the Hardhoofs have really been at each other's throats lately. That marriage has, it's seen its ups and downs ever since Tachi almost died during the stag bear attack when Redacted ran them over. Anyway, they're going at it right now. Maybe you guys can check in over there, make sure Namaltana isn't going crazy. It sounds like this argument it just started, so you might have a while before it results in fisticuffs, but they've been wrestling their problems away, and folks are concerned. I'll tell you that much.
Can I make maybe a culture check on how good this person is at differentiating fights from lovemaking? Because this sounds like it could be either.
Not whether Noir have very loud lovemaking, but whether rat folk know about Noir.
Right, yeah, right, exactly. That's the culture check is, do rat folk know?
Well, I'd like to know what Jamfram thinks about this. So yes, roll a culture check.
All right, let's do it. Let's see. There's my character sheet. There it is. Opening. Culture. Oh, that's a -1.
Okay. Why I requested this roll? I thought it'd be funny. It's not
13.
Funny. 13. Pretty well. Yeah, you're pretty sure that Hells would know what she is talking about here.
Okay.
And if you talk to her or someone else, it seems like there is and has been since you've been gone, Jam, from a bit of a
rocky relation
kind of, like going from fights to throwing things to wrestling out their problems. And maybe later the Noir lovemaking comes into effect, but before then it's
wrestling turns to wrestling, if you know what I mean.
Well, like you do.
Like you do.
Yeah, well, when my wife and I get in the argument, I always just throw her across the room right after.
I'd come off the top rope. I come off the top rope like AJ Styles. And then the loving starts.
How did you know we have a ring around our bed? I have an octagon actually.
The 4-post bed is so that you can hang the ropes around it when you need to.
Yeah. I really get excited when my wife pulls out the steel chair from underneath the bed.
Right, she picks up the steps and starts coming at you. That's when you know it's on.
This is probably not where you thought this comment was going to go, but as a child, I thought a lot more of my adult life would be spent jumping on beds.
Yeah.
I have not done that in a long time, and I feel like I failed 8-year-old Patrick.
So I started having to buy my own beds. That's the problem.
Just a jumping bed to do it. I was about to say I can't do that right now. My wife is asleep, and she would not appreciate a jumping on it. We do not have like the Tempur-Pedic where like the wine glass can be.
The wine glass won't be disturbed. It's not like that one.
The wine glass is shut up and shatters on the ceiling.
I would break her back and jumping up and down. All right. Yeah. Do you guys want?
It's basically just a trampoline with a mattress on it. I get it. Yeah.
Do you guys want to go talk to the hard hoofs?
Let's talk to them hard hoofs.
Hard hoofs.
Hoofs.
The hoofs of hard.
Here are the hoofs.
Tachi and Tukor. Yeah. As you get over to the
Tukor,
the scrapyard, maybe you see Namal Tana looking very awkward, kind of like sorting some tools, but doing that thing where he's like half listening and like looking like he's not listening on one side of the bay. But indeed, there's a large argument between the hard hooves. Let's see here. One of them, Tachi, seems to be yelling something about her misplaced tool set, and Tukor is certain that Tachi lost it somewhere. And yeah, now you hear clank, clank, clank as perhaps tools are getting thrown around, or tables are getting lifted up as Tachi's searching for it and stuff. I don't know where it is. I saw you had it last. Well, I saw you had it last. Don't lie to me. I know you had it. What do you guys like to do?
Bluey, brought to you by Cosmic Crit.
Stepping into this situation. Oh, thank you. And do I get an Emmy? I guess they probably got an Emmy, right? Cosmic Crit's Emmy for that amazing domestic violence episode between two noirs.
Let's see. I guess I'll knock on the door.
But yeah, it's like a garage bay, so you can just kind of rap on the side if you want to. It's open up, which is why their voices are carrying across the colony.
I see. And their names are, one more time,
Tachi and Tukor.
Tachi and Tukor. Cool.
Tupac Core.
Tupac and Tachi Station.
Gotcha. Core.
I mean, I guess we should separate them and then try to get their stories individually. What do you think about that, gang? I say, Tachi, will you come here, please, I can. Oh, hello, friend. Hello.
Oh, Flame. Jeff, you're alive.
That's what I'm doing. Oh, hello. Welcome. Yes, I'm back. Oh, better than ever.
Of course he's alive. He wasn't dead when he left. I was only mostly dead. Shut up. What the fuck? I'm trying to talk to my now living friend. Oh. What do you need from us? We're having a discussion here.
I understand. Tachi, could you come over here and speak to me and my friend Pradia for a moment, please? We have some important business to discuss.
Grumble. Okay.
Right. Jam, from you hear Pradier's voice in your mind just say, I really do not want to be a part of this.
Well then, redacted. Come join our conversation.
Yes. The other party face.
The three of us, we'll sort this out. Asher, Sky, Skrillex, why don't you go and speak with our friend?
I was already laughing at you. Seem to say Asher Sky with like a forward slash between the names. Asher Sky.
Why don't you go and see to our friend, not Tachi, this is
Tukor.
All right, cool. And I'll take Tashi out of earshot of Two-Core.
It seems like every time we make progress with a strike, we take 2 steps backward as soon as we're by ourselves again.
Yes,
I don't know where her tools are. This is unresolved anger from the last time that we were on guard duty together, and I might have had a bit too many beans, and I could not stop my flatulence.
Well, that is a problem. Yes.
Well, I mean, we're outside. It shouldn't be that big of a problem, but
maybe you need
howdy.
like one of those things that the oil wells have, where they have like the constant flame and they just sort of burn it off as it comes out.
I wish.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the stank cloud comes out, and without a gust of wind, it lingers for like 10 rounds.
I see. This
is truly the best episode we have
intense.
ever recorded.
I have 5 stomachs. This is how Noir farts work. Canonically on Cosmic Crit now.
I see. So do you believe this is this tool issue is just a symptom of a deeper problem? Is that what you're feeling like?
Well, she just lost her tools. I don't know where they are. I swear I didn't touch them, but she's blaming me.
I see. But you've been having some problems other than the tools, is that right?
Yeah, cut back to Two-Core talking to Asher and Sky, and she's like, they smell like if a sentry's egg was left out and then eaten by a muskrat and pooed. They're really bad.
For another century.
For another century. Pooed out for a century. I don't think you would be able to stand it either, Asher and Sky. I'll get a specimen next time, but I don't think it's going to be very good.
Well, surely there's something you can do to help with the stench.
I mean,
he can do?
I put on my environmental protections, and it could protect me against radiation, but apparently not from the stench. It clings to the armor, so even when I open up the visor later, I can still smell it on me.
Are these two a romantic couple? Is that what I understand?
Oh,
yeah, they're husband and wife.
Oh.
They are the Hard Hoofs. That's their surname.
We can just sort of organize society however we want. We don't have to make divorce like a big deal, right? They can just split up if they want to, right?
If you want to make a decree, just be like, yeah, divorce is just...
If your farts are real bad, your marriage is over.
Legally, you have to throw your arms up in the air and be like, I'm done. That's all it takes. Yeah, no, she will continue on and say that likely because of how hard she was chiding him for the stanky toots and a litany of other, pretty basic marriage things, he likely misplaced the tools and is not owning up to it.
Like purposefully misplaced them?
Yeah, or did it and is lying about not knowing, not touching them because
embarrassed.
You don't want to make things worse at the very least.
Can I roll? Can I make 2 rolls against Tachi?
What do you want to do?
Sense motive on the fact that he doesn't know where the tools are, and medicine on the flatulence problem.
That's good.
I'd like to roll culture on the flag.
How refined are these toots, Jim?
It was a good year.
Tachi seems to be telling the truth about the not knowing where the tools are, and you don't know if there's a solution. Maybe less dairy, but you don't really know their diet, so you'd have to work with them for a while before you could make a solution there. Main thing is the tools, though. He seems to be telling the truth.
Redacted would whisper to Jam from... Redacted is with Jam from, right?
See.
And Praydeer.
Okay. Redacted would whisper to them both, perhaps a shared trauma will solve the issue.
Steal all the tools. Yes.
Redacted's pistol starts to warm up. The battery slid in.
No. Nothing that severe.
What's the shared trauma?
If both beings are brought out and they happen to get hit with something, say
a car,
a vehicle, perhaps the couple would reconcile in recovery.
I'm sorry, Miles, you just said, no, I'm not going to shoot them. I'm just going to hit them with my car.
I'm going to run them over
exactly.
with my car.
The Redacted runs everything over with his car to solve the issue. It's like, we don't know how to hack into this computer. Here we go.
They need a shared enemy. That'll bring them together.
I hack my computers 1/4 mile at a time.
Yep. Redacted, that is a wonderful idea. Perhaps we should save that as a backup solution for...
Redacted's like already in the car. Keys in the ignition.
Right. Perhaps we can find these tools for our friend here, and we can make this problem go away.
It's only been 6 months since you ran Tachi over, Miles. They're getting nowhere near your vehicle as soon as you start up. They
need to be made unaware that what's going to happen.
Oh, okay.
We need to get the threat level down.
They're out there guarding the colony, tooting up a storm, and then they just see headlights.
All of a sudden, it's
in
like
the
flying above the hillside. It's just
like that scene in Christine where just like the lights go flash.
Yeah.
Can I make a diplomacy check to try to convince Tachi that they
to stand in front of the car?
Not stand in front of the car.
I'm gonna get diplomacy check to make him stand by a tree.
But work on things with Tukor.
Yeah. Diplomacy check would be a way to go there. Feels bad.
Now we're going if not we're going straight to intimidation.
You can't.
Can I aid on diplomacy?
It feels like something that Pradier might need help with, as he can no longer see the conversation bubbles in the future. Yeah. So you got an aid there. You got a little bonus.
Can I aid, or are you talking to?
I'm talking to Tachi.
You're in a different group.
Yeah, you're in a.
Whoa.
Oh, hey.
What about that episode reroll?
Natural one. Natural
Can I reroll?
one.
Can I reroll it?
Typically,
we have the episode reroll. Yeah, we do have one.
Typically, no, but those are mostly for attack rolls. I want to let them stand because of the crit fails. I'll allow you to roll this if you want. It's a natural one.
I would love to re-roll this. This is why I was a precog, everybody. This is exactly why.
This is what it's for.
I was a charisma precog.
Hey, that's better.
13 on that. 21 on diplomacy.
And this is DC 21. So that is a success. Tachi's like, oh, I will talk it out with her. You sound just like a Straka in our couples therapy sessions. Oh boy, I'm gonna have to journal about this, aren't I?
Yes, you should. After your conversation, you should.
That's right.
Journal it. Write down your successes and your failures so that you can understand the better path towards a long, healthy relationship.
Right. Write down the feelings that made you feel this way to get to this position.
Meanwhile, can I roll diplomacy with Tukor to try to convince her to give him another chance?
Yeah.
I will assist on this.
Assisted. Check. And fail. Check.
Uh-oh.
What'd you roll here? 11 on the dice. Not a success, but yeah. As you try to get through to Tukor, she's like, he just won't listen. He won't listen. It doesn't matter. Let's see here. Do you need 2 successes? Yeah, convincing Tachi, he comes over and makes amends, and there's some light roughhousing as they kind of make up. You can watch this from afar. Ooh, culture check. Why don't you give me both a perception and or a sense motive check as you're watching this?
Oh my! Should I be watching this?
All of us?
I mean, yeah. If you're here investigating.
I rolled a 14. I say, oh, look, they're hugging.
Jeez.
They seem to be fighting again. Uh-oh.
We did our best.
Rabopple and Skinner were in the closet making babies, and I saw the baby, and it looked at me. Right. So Asher and Sky, as you're walking away from this making up, this odd noir making up, you see the corner of a very large toolbox, perhaps large enough for noir hands, kind of sticking out from behind a larger chest. Seems like it doesn't look like it's fallen back there, but it is definitely not a place perhaps they would be looking for it. It's on like the other side of the bay here. So you find their tools and can bring back to them, and that makes them very happy. What did we do on? You want to do a good sense motive check here? Not a lot of great sense motives. Yeah, it just says. I mean, they seem to be making up. So they definitely, when you bring the tools over, they have a good laugh about it. But yeah, you maybe since there's still some deeper animosity, perhaps this is like a Band-Aid on a wound that has already let fester.
Yeah, they're gonna need a little more attention to that particular relationship. I think a little work on the bonding to make it stick.
Hope you guys don't hate these characters, because their marriage, a vital part of book 2 of Horizons of the Past.
It's going to be like half the book is us just like mitigating their things and trying to get them to see each other's perspectives. And like,
there's an alien invasion during their renuptial, they're redoing their wedding vows, and that whole thing gets invaded.
Heroes, the colony is under attack, but also Tukor and Tashi they might split up this week.
You have to choose their marriage or 1,000 innocent lives. Choose wisely.
It's a real choose your own adventure. We just like choose to make it just like a Hallmark movie.
Yeah. Oh, right. So what do you get? What do you get? XP for this? I don't know. Yeah, there are no.
We better get XP for that. That was a lot of time.
There's no treasure drop, unfortunately, for solving the hard pitch problem.
Next time we're stealing the toolbox and selling it, so we at least get something out of this.
10% of its value.
As you're walking out of the scrapyard, Kel's Deirdrick comes over and gives you a little slug on the, I guess on like your hip right here. She's like half your height. She's like, hey, you wanted to be in charge. You want to be the prime here, but yeah, I'm pretty happy you won now. That this kind of stuff I don't think I'd be really good for.
Well, I don't know if I'm all that good at it either. It would be much simpler to just, psychically command them to do something else, but I suppose that would be unethical.
Oh, right. So you guys were heading.
Can you use the command spell to make two people get along? Is that a command you can issue? Be cool.
Yeah, I think it's. I mean,
unfortunately, I think it's.
He can't say now kiss.
It's genie rules. You can't make anyone fall in love with you. They can't like kill themselves. I guess those are commands that are verboten, and you can't ask for more command spells.
You can't command for more commands.
Yeah. If you
command you to follow my commands next round.
That actually probably would be cool, because if you commanded a magic user who also has the command spell, you could just keep chaining them, right? You could just take over an entire mage college of people that learned command. Okay, hold on. Let me write that down as a potential adventure. That's kind of like you have to kill the head vampire to undo the curse on all the others.
Yeah, I dig that. That's fun.
Okay, all right.
That's an option.
I'll cut that out of the episode, so that's our CritterCon special.
That's right, Patrick. Forget that for Sunday. That's gonna be our Halloween episode.
Ooh, what are we doing here? What are we doing here, folks? Oh,
we're trying to travel out to an outpost.
Yeah, book 2 has I forget which one you're going to. The northeastern one.
Yes.
Oh, when do we have to do that one?
Patrick was just so immersed in this lovers' quarrel, he forgot the whole other aspect.
I was too. I forgot there was a whole colony going on. I was like, oh man.
I care about literally nothing besides Tachi and Tukors.
I'm just saying. If book 2 was just like, making sure that people in our colony were getting along and solving like social problems back and forth, and it turned into like a whodunit of like who misplaced the tools or whatever. Like, man, I'd be into that.
Yeah, I mean, I have the power here as GM. I could cut out some fights.
I like big dumb adventures.
Yeah, Patrick, Jamfram wakes up and begins to have his breakfast. He opens up the infosphere and he noticed that Tukor has changed their relationship status to it's complicated.
I wake the rest of the crew.
Pretty sure
everyone's awakens and runs into the dining hall. They're out of
we
breath.
have a problem.
I'm pretty sure it's Spacebook. I think it's canonical to Cosmic Crit.
Their hearts race as they learn that their favorite power couple in all the colony have complicated emotions.
right. I think I would for sure be getting my Pradier to in on this as quickly as possible.
You're laughing, but like honestly, the hard hooves are going to be a major part of this AP.
Yeah.
So
No.
I wish I had introduced them a little bit more in book one, but there's so many NPCs in book one. I mentioned them a few times by name and things, but we didn't get a
book one could take actually forever. Like if you spent
we
time,
took forever. We took 20.
Well, I know, and you still
about half a year, right?
Yeah, remember when you were like, oh no, the main patriarch of the Willowanth family died, and we were like, who cares? Like, kill the whole Willowanth family for all we give a damn.
Murder the wife, the kids, who cares?
Oh, not the Wigglewhams.
Yeah, we care about Tachi and Tukor, not the Willowants.
Don't look
I care more about them than the Willowanths. I mean, it's like
don't look into this too much. Don't read too much into it. But just FYI, what NPC, if they died, would be the most impactful for you as both players and characters go?
What was that?
None.
What was that?
Hold on, let me get a pen. Let me get a pen and paper.
Ezeran Shire, probably, because he actually does.
Is Alucard one of them?
Alucard. So let's see.
Cloud Strife, maybe.
Yeah, Ezerand, Kells, Furlet, Ingelos.
Kells is
probably
Nax's
just the
sister, so I would feel real weird about that.
Hey, anyone's life is on the line here. Everyone, it's rough edges of the universe. It's colony living. You don't know what's out there, and to prove that, let's roll a D100. See if you get a random encounter on your adventures out to the northeastern observation post. Who wants to roll?
And obviously, there would be nothing but tears for the rest of the episode if Haglin Daglin passed away.
83. No, not a single random encounter.
Nice.
Way to go. We were on the episode. Miles.
My best.
Who rolled that? Who dared roll that? Oh, right. So it's the, better part of half a day to get out to the northeastern surveying of this area here that Elenez Zorian set up. Right. And it takes a good amount of time here. And I think it's probably going to be dark by the time that you get to the location where you guys want to. It is like a camp, so there might be a place set up if you want to, stay there overnight. Would you like to keep pushing and get there? I guess there'll still be some light when you get there.
Yeah, we can push
it real good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what
Do you think I have a map? Let's check.
You guys remember when Patrick Stewart hosted Saturday Night Live and Salt and Pepper was the musical guest?
Ladies and gentlemen, Salt and Pepper.
And Pepper.
And Pepper.
Pepper.
Yes, John Mulaney has made sure that no one forgets that.
Well, I watch that episode all the time.
Yes, remember when Howie Mandel did the voice for the kid on Bobby's World, and then also the dad on Bobby's World?
I do remember that.
Yeah.
I do.
Good job, Bobby. Good job, Howie.
So yeah, you get to a dry patch of land, maybe in the where are we at here? Foothills? Forget where this is on the map. Oop. Let's see.
Looks magical.
Yeah, it's kind of like brushland to the south of the northeastern foothills and mountains. So kind of far away from the river leading away from it. So pretty dry brushland. And yeah, it as you get to the encampment, you see it's pretty loose soil here. And it looks like a lot of things have been kind of like knocked over, maybe by the wind or what have you. You see what remains of the camp. But indeed, it looks like a good deal of it has been knocked down. You see what maybe trail markers leading up to this, kind of buried under sand and dirt, perhaps weeks old. Who knows? What would you guys like to do? You'll have to disembark from Redacted's vehicle to get up onto the encampment here. But as you can see from the map, you're not there yet. But this is kind of what it looks like. There's just like a small Quonset hut and some little tents and maybe like an emergency. There's probably not a vehicle here. Some like emergency tents and crates and things like that, as well as equipment that looks like it's been knocked over from afar.
See, I look for evidence of one Flint Marco.
What? Oh, of a Sandy Mandy?
The whole Sandman has been here.
Make me a perception check.
I will.
Can we all make perception?
Yeah, if you want to move up to the camp.
I'm the only one who remembered the Sandman's name, so only I get to make a perception check.
Jabert, I'm going to be honest with you. I also remember that name for a very particular reason, and I'm sure Miles did as well.
Yep. No, good. We both rolled the same, so good. Good. We both remembered.
He was in a movie like 2 years ago.
Was he?
Yeah, very good movie.
Is it No Way Home?
Oh, the one with the yeah.
Right as you guys are heading forward here, marching headlong into untold danger, Asher and Sky, you notice the ground begin to shift underneath your compatriots and it's Sandman. You can whip the ground right in front of them to stop them from moving forward. Indeed, it does seem like the ground is unstable here, and perhaps this is what the trail markers that were knocked down were warning you against.
Quicksand. Is it quicksand?
Yes.
Just like we were all warned about in the 90s.
Yeah.
It definitely is a thing that's everywhere, and we should all watch out for it.
So to be fair, we weren't warned about it in the 90s. We weren't warned about it in the 60s, but they continued to air those cartoons into the 90s.
They continued to warn children for the next 30 years.
Yeah. Are we all just using points from John Mulaney's stand-up?
Is that a thing from his
Yes.
stand-up?
I believe he has
It's another one that is very much a part of his stand-up.
Well, great minds, I suppose. There's like this one spot in the town where I grew up that like actually has like a quicksand like problem. Like there's a little like area of the woods called Sand River, and it's like when it rains, it does turn into like a gross like quicksand. Like it's like more soupy than like, you know, sloppy like get stuck in mud sort of thing.
Campbell's chunky quicksand.
I really hope there's
bacon, right?
I hope there's a ton of vines growing nearby as well, because
otherwise you are
some kudzu
done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was really the story. There was like me and my dad went out like hiking out there one time, and it started raining. We were trying to come back in, and the path that we were going along, it just turned into just like this, you know, just not but quicksand, and we had to cross it to get back across, and it was just like I'm just like hanging off of a tree, just like waist deep into this quicksand.
So there you have it, gang. Jabert is the only human, well, one of two humans that has dealt with quicksand in the 21st century.
So, statistically speaking, I'm the only person you'll ever meet who's ever had to deal with quicksand.
So you're the expert here, Jabert. How would you like to try and bypass what is an unknown quantity of quicksand at this site?
Oh, well, the way I did it was I used a tree to climb out, and then I went home and ate a bowl of soup. So that's my move.
Okay, but you have to cross this if you want to investigate the site. Yeah.
Are there any hanging over shrubs or anything?
No.
So Zilix,
is there a horse we can tearfully say goodbye to?
We can't go around.
Zilix can just climb on stuff.
swamp.
Can he walk over to here and then just kind of climb and jump around to the different spots?
You can make an athletics check to
You
try
want to play floor is lava?
bypass this.
Floor is lava.
No, that's a fail. True.
Hang on, I should have.
Oh no, the floor is lava.
I should have activated my sheath. Hang on,
Your sheath?
my sheath array,
I don't think that'll be enough still.
because that gives me a +1
to that, which would be 13.
Zilix, takes a jump short and perhaps falls smack dab on the ground where the sand quickens around them.
I'm going to take my tent and I'm going to take it and take all the rods and pegs out, and I'm just going to shake it out flat and then toss it over the whole thing.
All right.
Toss it over the thing and make it big and flat. And I'm going to lay down on top of it and then shimmy out to reach over and grab Zilix's hand.
Make an athletics check to swim over to him with your +4 bonus for. Yeah, it seems like you got.
Do you have a swim speed?
The tech bonus. Yeah. That's in normal water. You make an athletics check to not drown in quicksand.
Oh my! So that's a 20. Yeah, that's 6.
19 on the dice.
And then plus the 4 for the tech is 30.
I couldn't walk over here where there was no sand to do this.
I got you, bud. I got you.
There's sand everywhere.
Why did you jump in? Come on, quick, up onto my tent.
Yeah, with the aid of your friend, you can pull out your lizard friend, giant lizard friend, drowning in the quicksand here.
Extricate him.
What? Yeah, no. There is the potential to fall into this if you're mucking about. Maybe the box fell over as you're trying to balance on it. But yeah, any other ideas on crossing, on examining this place?
How heavy are the boxes in bulk specifically?
Can we? That'd be a super mean thing to do, but can we just drive Redacted's car into it? just fill the hole with a car, I suppose.
10
the car will probably
bulk.
get stuck, right?
Yeah. Well, though that's the thing. It's you just but there's
we're standing on top of the car, so we.
Yeah. I mean, we'd lose the car, but
Redacted, any potential engineering solutions you can think of?
Wow.
And is there a big tree nearby?
Oh, you got a winch?
Looks like there's trees nearby.
Is there a kitchen nearby that might have some rope in it?
Oh, I got my portable kitchen with rope.
I have a cable line.
Ooh. Well, why don't you make...
If someone touches the cable into the car, at least that way you've got something.
We could haul it out.
Why don't you make an engineering check? See if Protected's got something in mind.
Oh my goodness!
Natural 20. Yeah, you with a winch, with a bunch of line, and just the detritus around this encampment here, along with some small trees. There's no tall ones, but you can set up a very simple step ladder across that's wide enough that it's not sinking in to the shifting sands here, and get a good look at the center of the camp, which seems to be on solid ground. Indeed, here it's a large kind of platform around the main part of the observation post, kind of raised off this dusty, sandy ground that it looked like it was disguised with camouflage at one point, but the most of the tents have been kind of torn off here, and it looks like the surveillance equipment, the sensors that track the weather, maybe local wildlife cameras and things like that, looks like they've been wrecked by something. Looks like they've taken some damage. There's bits and pieces of parts of them broken on the ground here in the sand.
Would it be survival to investigate and see what it could have been?
Let's see here. Yeah, feel free to make me a survival check.
Can I assist with this?
Sure.
You should roll it on your own. My survival's trash.
Never mind. I will roll it then.
Yeah, not anything here that denotes what did this, but this looks pretty targeted. You don't think this is a stag bear or a lynxacute? That it seemed like someone or something came through here and deliberately beat up these electronics from that roll. Some kind of sabotage.
Listen, all of y'all, it's a sabotage.
He was just trying to save his daughter.
If you'd like, it might take the better part of, depending on how well you do, 3 to 4 hours, somewhere in that neighborhood. To, I think, if you have some UPBs, 50 credits and worth of UPBs, you have the materials to probably repair just about everything here, redacted, and get this place back up and running again.
Well, that's only 10 credits each, so that's fine.
Yeah. Is that something you guys want to do? You can make camp here overnight. All right. And this is actually pretty chill area of the colony, this northeastern border. You have a great view of the stars overhead as you make camp. Maybe turn some dry shrubbery in the area into a campfire. And for the first time in many months, the 6 of you are back together ranging again. The stars align above you all as you catch up and chat over some meals on the fire. As the stars light up above you, reveal the words in the galaxy above, to be continued.
Oh. I thought we were going to talk about deep in the heart of Texas.
Well, they'll never forget Elmo. But we'll figure out what has happened here to the observation post maybe in a future episode. We'll start in on next week's episode, finishing this up, and then explore somewhere else. Keep exploring. That's the entire AP basically. Guys, thank you so much for playing with me.
Thank you.
Listeners, thanks for listening. Thanks for joining us. We will catch you next time here on Cosmic Crit. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Scheming on a thing. That's a mirage.
You've been listening to Cosmic Crit, an officially licensed partner of Paizo Incorporated. The Starfinder role-playing game and adventure paths are trademarks of Paizo. All Pathfinder and Starfinder images are property of Paizo and are used with permission.